Throughout this series, we've been looking at some of the top interior design projects from across the country. And in this episode, we're counting down the top 10. Welcome to Australia by Design Interiors. Our group of industry leaders have selected the top 10 interior design projects from the series.
So here we are, final episode, we're at the top 10. With all the expertise that's on the panel, everybody's got their own little thing that they're looking for. There was certainly a bit of lively debate to get us here.
Let's start the countdown to the number 1 project.
The Heart House. Excellent use of space, clear, clean lines, giving a picture-type view of Pittwater.
It was just an amazing response to what is a really difficult environment.
Rob, I've got to say, I think this is the most beautiful point of view of Pittwater that I've ever seen.
And I suppose one of the ideas was to draw the outside in. It's a very small little box,
yes,
but with a big opening. You've got the kitchen, the living and the dining, all with a view.
That's a fun space. Can I take a look?
It's a great view up there. It's an even better view.
I tell you what, the kids would just love getting up and down this ladder, right? They've got a lot of these old mid-century modern pieces, which I love. I mean, look at that Hans Wegner.
And the Featherston chair,
yes,
and everything. It highlights the client's character,
yes,
and the house sort of matches that.
What is it that drew you to working with ceramics to begin with?
I can't even remember why, but I always, as a young child, wanted to learn the wheel. And I photograph a lot of things on the beach or on the rocks down there.
So it's become your outdoor studio?
Yeah, it has. It's very inspiring.
Where did you collect all these things from?
We inherited a lot of furniture from Nick's parents.
Yes.
This dining set is one of our favourites.
Yes.
The Featherston we purchased.
Yep.
But the other 2 chairs were Nick's grandfather's.
Wow. Well, look, hats off to you for retaining some of that family heritage, because there's so many stories here. Well, the Heart House is a wonderful collaboration between architect, owner, and nature itself. And I couldn't think of a better place to be inspired.
There's so many things to love about this project, but the colour use really stands out to me.
This is a project that really emphasises the importance of engaging an interior designer.
If you're going to design a place to showcase beautiful design, then the pressure is really on. So these 2 floors are all about Stylecraft Home.
Stylecraft Home, yes, which was a new brand that we launched in Sydney over 2 years ago. And so when the opportunity came, we were really keen to bring that concept down to Melbourne.
We thought about what is home, and home for us is very much a series of rooms that are interconnected. So we wanted to be able to allow people to be able to come in and really get a sense of what those settings could look like in their own space.
The showroom was already here, wasn't it, when you started?
That's right. This actually used to be a nightclub many, many moons ago. As you move through the showrooms, colour is used as a device to create those markers that signify different rooms. So in here, it's the deep greens. Upstairs in the lounge, it's a sort of a dusty blue. And then with the portico, we sort of used more like a rich, rusted colour as well. We started to think about what are some of those architectural devices that we see throughout Europe, and the portico was one of those sort of devices. It sort of talks to sort of the Italian indoor-outdoor and creating the use of terrazzo as well on the floor. We wanted to sort of bring together this idea of sort of, you know, almost holidaying in sort of Italy.
So we can all pretend we got to go to the Mediterranean last winter.
Exactly.
As a designer, I love coming here. Not only does it do a great job of showcasing the furniture, but Hassel's design work has turned what was already a pretty great furniture showroom into a destination.
One of the things that makes me really happy about good design is when the heritage and history of a building is used in the new design and new style.
In opposed to hospitality and residential, this is a project that really focuses on the workplace.
The Bryant & May building is an iconic part of Melbourne, and its history was the spark behind this next project. This is a pretty historic building.
Yeah, it was originally occupied by Bryant and May, who produced matches. We're across 3 levels, and the narrative actually for each level is different. So the graphics, the colour and the naming all come from that story. Natural light was really important, so all the work areas are positioned up against those light-filled spaces. The slides represent the penstocks that are on site at the Snowy Hydra, which is the owner of Red Energy, and we wanted to really encapsulate that as part of the design of the fit-out.
And then the workspace here, this is where everybody is.
Yeah, it's a neighbourhood approach, so we've got a variety of meeting rooms, informal collaboration spaces, and simply spaces to focus.
And this amazing staircase, which I know clients can often hate because you have to cut a hole in the floor and take something away.
The levels actually help create more of a dynamic between each of the spaces and put that area basically back in. This is where the whole team can come together. We can get up to 300 people in this space. So you can see that we've got the bleacher-style seating around the outside.
And I noticed you've got these light fittings here that look a little bit like upside-down matches.
Good spot, Angela. These were produced locally here in Richmond. This is one of my favourite parts of the fit-out. We designed these sky beds that were really about getting the team away from the workspaces. One of the most popular spaces in the fit-out.
People love to work in interesting places, and you can definitely feel the buzz at Red Energy.
This project by Ritson Gagassian is typical of what they do.
The detail in this project is amazing, from the interior joinery to the exterior finishes and walls.
In a classic Victorian street like this, you might not expect to see a minimalist family home. But behind this front door is exactly that, and it's gorgeous.
The house itself is one of a number of Victorian cottages along the street. We received ours in a pretty derelict condition. We had to redo the floors, we realigned walls. In the end, we just tried to express it in its sort of simplest form.
These bricks, these are striking as soon as you see them.
The idea is to use local materials as much as possible. The blocks themselves, the black butt joinery and the furniture.
When we initially got the clients on, they were a couple, just got engaged. They've since had a kid and another one on the way. Hopefully the entire house is flexible enough to be able to be adapted into the future. But I think, you know, one really great example is obviously that second living room, which has since turned into a nursery.
The materials are the same as downstairs, but I can see that you've used them in a really different way.
Yeah, so we've actually reversed them. We're sort of leaving behind the white brick, the beautiful warm timber on the floors and walls really give it a nice sense of space.
And it continues on into the bathroom as well.
So the idea there was basically to create a real sort of seamless line from the master bed into the master bath, creating a sort of a really beautiful, large space to be in.
Strong, minimal design can seem easy to do because there's nothing to it. But in fact, the opposite is true because the design is front and centre. And here, it deserves to be.
Ascot Vale has really responded well to its heritage and place, but what really impresses me is their spectacular workmanship.
It's great to see Ascot Vale in the top 10. It deserves to be here. I think that the fact that the home and business is all in one is a brilliant thing.
Oh, wow. This is spectacular, Jerry.
The baby grand was a big part of the guy's brief. Lovely double height space, and we all agreed that during construction we'll paint this wall black to really highlight the light coming through from the window. Joel is the owner of the building, and he's also a builder who specialises in architecturally designed homes. So he wanted a workspace to bring his own clients in, obviously to show off his own craftsmanship and capabilities. So Nicole's part of the brief was to create the walk-in robe. She was very hands-on in a lot of the finer detail. She took care of all of this here with the choice of leather, the hanging frames. Joel and Nicole were very keen on a large, opulent sort of feel for their master bedroom. So we connected the bedroom area with this lovely ensuite. Joel's put thousands of hours into building this home. So they've spent some money on the lovely fixtures and fittings, but they've saved their money on all the labour.
This was the perfect example for us to showcase our skills as a couple, and also, you know, for Joel to have an example of the level of quality and work that he can actually do.
The attention to detail and the level of finish is just stunning. From the choice of materials to the finer bespoke pieces, nothing here has been missed.
This next project is Six Head Restaurant in the Rocks in Sydney. I love how history has really informed the design.
This is a wonderfully preserved, historic, open warehouse that doesn't take away from the beauty of the harbour.
Six Head Restaurant is the newest arrival here at the Rocks. And when you experience the silent design I'm about to share with you, you'll understand why Sydney is about to be seduced. Why the 6 cowheads?
It goes back to the first fleet. Along the way, they picked up 4 cows and 2 bulls. They wandered off, discovered 8 years later, and numbering 100. And that saved that first colony from starvation. When we started taking the finishes off the walls, it started breaking up the sandstone. And so we needed to find a solution to kind of screen it. So we conceptualized the idea and then found an artist by the name of Melissa Carey. It's spectacular. We love the outcome. We were not allowed to go into the wall with the back bar, so we set it off by 100 mil, but used the opportunity to get a lot of light in. People don't go to a restaurant just to have a meal. They go to kind of socialize, have a great experience. So if you design a restaurant well, you want to think about where people will be placed, how spontaneously they could potentially have the chance encounter with somebody else.
Callie and his team have given deep, considered thought to the design here, which means you're instantly comfortable, whether you're sitting here, 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 or here, meaning you're relaxed and enjoying your meal before the food has even arrived.
This is a 26-storey tower in the middle of the Sydney CBD. It's got 135 apartments, 86-room boutique hotel, and 8 food and beverage locations.
What I felt was incredibly special was the use of the rooftop, an open space, beautifully detailed landscape and furniture that invites you for events.
The Arc building has quickly become known and loved in Sydney for its wonderful brick facade, but we're lucky enough to be invited inside.
All the public areas, we wanted to make sure that there's enough daylight because daylight makes people happy. So even the lift is made of glass and it's just a simple design principle.
I understand this gets Instagrammed probably more than any part of the city of Sydney, does it?
That's correct. Emotionally, people instantly connect to space. Then come here and take photo. This room acts for long-term or short-term stay. We wanted to bring a lot of natural, warm and inviting color palette. And it does connect back to, again, to the architectural facade made of bricks.
I heard there's something like about 300,000 bricks that were used in this project.
That's right, it's unbelievable.
And they're all laid by hand?
That's correct. We're talking about 5 mil precision accuracy. And you know, we had to check every coursing that we laid. But as a result, it's a wonderful way to celebrate our tradition in the heart of city.
Kyochi Takata has created a unified yet diverse building that seamlessly moves from heritage respect to modern luxury. One of the highlights for me working on this series was the opportunity to have met Sue Carr. She's definitely one of my favourite interior designers, and it's great to see United Places at number 3.
I love the winning combination of the textures and the colour palette in this project. It feels really refined and luxe.
United Places in South Yarra is making a big noise in the Melbourne hotel scene, and we're lucky enough to get an insider's tour. So this is your hotel lobby. It's very subtle.
Yes, it's deliberately quite reductionist. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
And what have we discovered here? This light fitting is incredible.
Well, it's a bit more than a light fitting, actually. It's a sculpture that hovers in this void. If it's quite sunny, you'll have a circular blast of light. If it's overcast, like today, which it typically is in Melbourne at this time of year, you'll get these lovely trios overlapping of light pools.
Well, if this is the lobby, I can't wait to see the rooms.
Well, this is one of the urban suites, and as you can see, it faces out onto this beautiful red brick building. We wanted to create something that really felt like giving the guest a home away from home, particularly for those that were staying for a longer period of time.
What's with this mirror? You're just reflecting the view?
Partly, but also we've got a bit of a surprise.
Oh my God.
It was trying to create a really unique bathing experience by being able to see out.
So I can have a shower in here. I could be watching TV, I could be looking at the view, and nobody can see me.
So I can guarantee you won't be seen in the shower.
So you've got no walls, you've just got the curtain instead?
Yeah, we worked hard to remove a lot of the walls just to open up the space. It gives that sense of intimacy, cocooned away, really for the introverts.
So if this is the introverts room, I can't wait to see the extroverts room. So this really is putting it all out there, isn't it?
Yeah, in many respects it is. It was quite a bold move to put the bath right into the facade like this. If you're not an extrovert, that blind can drop.
It was about creating a hotel that was really design conscious. Home is such a comfortable environment. We want to take it above that and give people an experience, but at the same time have a level of warmth and comfort and security. And I think if you're staying overnight somewhere, you can walk in and just have this calmness. It is really important for a guest's stay.
The combination of stunning design and a visionary client has resulted in a place that feels like home, but gives the unique, curated experience you'd expect from a luxury hotel.
Jackalope Hotel was one of my favourite projects this year, so I'm so happy to say that they have made it to number 2 in our top 10 for this season.
I'm not surprised that Jackalope is number 2. Look, unashamedly, I'm one of car design's biggest fans.
A nice connection between old and new whilst delivering a memorable experience throughout.
This is an amazing room. I mean, you must have spent a long time on it, yeah?
Yeah, it was quite some years in the making, many collaborators.
Yeah.
We often refer to this as the Alchemist Workshop.
Yeah.
The bar is called Flagadoot, the lead Jackalope.
Yeah.
So this is the arrival experience into the hotel. So this is the main dining restaurant called Doot Doot Doot.
That is an incredible installation.
There's about 10,000 LED amber globes. There is the danger of too many statements in one environment, and when you're looking at this type of ceiling, everything on the lower plane intentionally is quite dark and demure, but highly textured.
You're not just throwing cushions around, are you? So where are we going now?
I'm taking you into the lair, so this is the top level suite.
Okay, lead me into your lair. Okay, this is gorgeous. I love the tub. And something's just occurred to me. It doesn't matter whether you're in the tub or just waking up in bed, you're always looking at that incredible view.
Yeah, that was intentional in how we designed all of the rooms, that they were all geared towards that experience of looking out.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I think you found a way of making beige very sexy.
Okay. Well, it was important to give that sense of relief from the public environments, which are full of theatre and playfulness.
Yes.
The guest room needs to be a place where one can relax.
Yeah, and it does feel harmonious, I've got to say. You just feel at ease here, don't you?
Yeah, it's that break and respite.
Wow, what a sight. A garden, an oasis in the centre of the city.
Concrete, timber, stone and landscape has made it into a truly amazing interior.
We usually come home and shut the door to the outside world. Well, this project does the exact opposite. Wow. Now, this is no ordinary apartment, is it, Adam?
No, it's not. It's a very special apartment right in the centre of Sydney. The building used to be an agricultural machinery showroom. They would take the tractor from the showroom into the lift, up onto the roof, and you'd test drive it around on the roof. Most people who I say we live on Cleveland Street, they're like, my gosh, that must be so noisy. But actually up here, you don't hear much at all. We've done things like have the garden here, set the apartment back from the edge, and we have a pond which creates some background noise, and it just kind of filters out the hum of the city. So when you get up here, it's incredibly quiet. You often feel like you're in the middle of the bush. Within the apartment, we wanted to connect to the sky. It's kind of another facade, it's another view that often people don't take advantage of. So by inserting skylights in the middle of the plan, we're able to get light dropped into the centre, but also just watch the clouds go over.
Adam, this is a very much a green kitchen. I don't think I've ever seen a green kitchen before. Is this to make everyone envious?
It's pretty special. It's about connecting the landscape just outside with the interior. It's also the opportunity for me to try something that, you know, I'm rarely allowed to do with clients. To try and convince them to do a green kitchen is quite hard, but for myself, it was pretty easy decision to make. I think it's really calming space. One of the things I hate about apartment living is that the kitchen is often in the living room. So we wanted to make the kitchen its own space so you could cook and it'd be quite contained. But at the same time, this island bench is about that connection from the living space into the kitchen.
And I noticed that throughout the apartment, you've actually paid respect to the heritage of the building. I'm seeing industrial-sized vents for air conditioning. I'm seeing doorways all the way up to the ceilings.
Without it being kitsch, we just wanted to kind of, you know, have a bit of a playfulness with it, enjoy a little bit of that history.
Well, you've done that very well.
Thanks so much.
By designing an apartment that lets the outside in, Adam has managed to create a detailed, unique oasis right in the heart of the city, while still paying homage to its industrial past.
Well, congratulations to Cleveland Rooftop for taking out the top position on Australia by Design Interiors. It has been an extraordinary journey through architecture, interiors and landscape. We hope you'll join us next time on Australia by Design.